Hello, my brothers and sisters all around the world. Look, kind of speaking to you. Welcome to a kind frappuccino. We got another death battle. Okay, see, I can do a little bit. We got another interesting death battle. Today we have Skyrim versus Dark Soul.
The chosen undead, the accursed god killer from Dark Souls.
The last Dragonborn, the dragon-slaying savior of Skyrim.
Resigned to captivity, these two demi-human heroes embraced their destinies and stared down the very gods themselves.
And devoured their friggin' souls!
Because these two lack specific canon arsenals and movesets due to being role-playing protagonists, for this death battle we're giving them everything they have and maxing out all of their stats.
Which is totally possible in-game if you're willing to grind. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Alright, let's see what we got.
Our story begins at the end. The great cities of old have collapsed. The heroes are dead or mad, and the golden age is over. Looking out upon their decaying kingdom, everyone would like nothing more than to lay down and die.
Too bad for them. That's the one thing they couldn't do.
The world has been gripped by the undead curse, turning anyone with a mysterious dark sign into mindless, violent hollows upon repeated soul-crushing deaths.
But there is a prophecy of a chosen undead who will journey to Lordran, the home of the gods, and save the world.
Rotting away in an asylum, all it took was an assist from an unlucky knight and a giant raven before one unlikely hero was ready to claw their way through.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Fugitive prudent, descend ageless, there's no height, no gender, nothing. Prison of the Northern Asylum, merged in the soul of Cinder. Okay. Okay, so there's no age, there's no height, and there's no weight. Okay, so he's a mysterious person. He's like a okay, so that's not okay. Okay.
Through their progenitor's forgotten homeland.
And it helps that as long as they can keep their sense of purpose, an undead will always resurrect at the nearest bonfire. Now they might slowly lose their memories, their personality, and their sanity, but the curse gives them as much time as they need to get good.
Undead are unnaturally resilient, able to survive being impaled through the chest. They've been chewed, eaten, and digested by what I can only describe as a toilet demon. And they can have their souls torn from their very body, because undead humans don't need their souls to survive.
Just pop some of that spicy Sunny D, and they're good to go. If anything, it seems like they get off to it. And speaking of souls, they can absorb the souls of their fallen enemies to increase their power.
They're a master with swords, hammers, spears, axes, bows, you name it. And that's without any formal training. With the right stats and setup, they can be anything from a cartwheeling assassin to a dragon-smashing tank.
To the giantest of dads. And despite the serious gothic themes of the series, these weapons can get anime as hell. Smo's Great Hammer is a ginormous mallet the size of a sedan.
Based on its size and likely bronze composition, it'd have to weigh over 100 tons. A lot like Goff's Great Bow, which can shoot pillar-sized arrows and one-shot dragons out of the sky.
Or my favorite, the Moonlight Great Sword, produced from the ass of the albino dragon and founder of sorcery, Seath the Scaleless. This baby's a universe-hopping anomaly that can fire powerful sword beams and just looks so cool!
The chosen undead has learned magic from the greatest practitioners in the world. They can create shockwaves, form defensive barriers, reflect damage, throw balls of flame, control minds, fire magical crystal spears, turn invisible, and toss bolts of sunlight strong enough to peel the stone scales off a mortal dragon.
So their pool of magic is pretty limited. So if it comes down to it, they can shut off all magic in the vicinity with the miracle Vow of Silence,
preventing anyone from speaking any spells aloud, including themselves clinging to power. Well, that's a huge bummer.
They might look like a depressed California raisin, but in order to link the flame, their soul needs to be strong enough to maintain the whole universe and the flow of time for another 1,000 years.
Other similarly powerful undead across time are swift enough to dodge lightning and even light itself. Based on their dodge compared to this beam and the time it took to reach them, they'd be reacting and moving at over 20% the speed of light.
At the end of their quest, they faced down and defeated Gwyn, the Lord of Cinder, long hollowed from linking the flame 1,000 years ago. So, which will you choose? Link the fire and prolong the current age, or let it fade until only dark remains?
This is the biggest bummer of them all. Truth is, it never mattered. The cycle just continues age after age, with new heroes replacing the old ones, until the chosen undead was long forgotten.
Until the infinite march of time ground the world to ash. It was never about the happy ending. It didn't exist. It was about the struggle to get there. That's ultimately what gives us meaning.
Interesting. Okay.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Brandon.
That's right, Boomstick. Dive into the thrilling world of versus music with Brandon Yates as he brings hypothetical.
Welcome to the frosty Viking paradise of Skyrim. Visit the quaint Nordic villages. Hike up to the throne of the world. Marvel at the beauty of Blackreach. Hey, what's that in the sky? Why, it's Macho Man Randy Savage. No, it's Thomas the Tank Engine.
No, that is a dragon. But not just any mere drake. This is Alduin, the World Eater. And he's come to burn everything to a cinder.
But fortunately for you, his path of destruction happened to interrupt your impending execution at the hands of those uppity Imperial pigs. That'll be the worst mistake this scaly monster would ever make.
It wouldn't be long before you escaped the destruction of Helgen and defeated a dragon yourself.
Then absorbed its freaking soul.
That could only mean one thing. You are a being born with the blood and soul of a dragon in the body of a Nord, or elf, or Khajiit, or lizard dude destined to battle Alduin and save the world.
In their tongue, you are the Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
In their quest to rid Tamriel of Alduin's dragon army, the dragon...
AKA the Dovahkiin King, height 6. Okay, so he's 6 feet. Male norm power material, blood and soul of a dragon, incarcerated in the prisoner, left by a Kettle shot? I don't know what to say. Okay. No age. Still no age. Both of them don't have an age? So I'm guessing, I think he might be 30, and I guess the other guy is like 30. Okay.
Dragonborn became a jack of all trades, master of all.
They learned to be a master assassin with the Dark Brotherhood, a master sorcerer with the College of Winterhold, a master thief with the Nightingales, a master dragon hunter with the Blades, and a master good boy. Who's a good boy? That's a good boy.
They even fought in the Skyrim Civil War on the side of the Imperial Legion, champions of order.
You mean the Nordic War for Independence on the side of the Stormcloaks?
Those elf-funded Nord supremacists?
Better than those jackbooted Cyrodiil fascists? But what else could I expect from a monster who steals from innocent villagers by sticking buckets over their heads?
They can put their skills to good use with an absolute glut of weaponry. Not just the usuals like daggers, swords, hammers, and axes, but also special weapons given to them by the Daedric princes.
They're basically crazy powerful gods from the plane of existence called Oblivion. From that wascally wabbit Sheogorath, the Dragonborn received the Wabbajack, a staff that casts a completely random spell on its target, from disintegrating them to healing them to turning him into a chicken.
Dragonborn has battled the vampire Lord Harkon, ended Skyrim's Civil War, and defeated the first Dragonborn, Mirak.
And according to the book, The Guardian and the Traitor, Mirak was powerful enough to tear apart the island of Solstheim from Skyrim's mainland.
By comparing the size of various countries on Tamriel's map, we can determine that Solstheim is a landmass nearly 1,500 miles in diameter. In order to move that much land over the course of their fight, Mirak's magical prowess must have outputted energy over 300 teratons of TNT.
That's 3 times the impact of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Not too crazy when shouts can get strong enough to shake the world itself.
It wasn't long before the Dragonborn confronted Alduin in Nord Heaven and put an end to the World Eater once and for all.
The epithet is literal. By absorbing the souls in Skyrim's afterlife, Alduin was powerful enough to devour everything. Not just the planet of Nirn, but the Kalpa, the entire timeline past, present, and future.
That's the level of unimaginable power the Dragonborn is dealing with here.
Tamriel is no stranger to great heroes across its vast, sprawling history. The Nerevarine, the hero of Kvatch, all magnificent in their own right.
But when you heard that shout echo through the mountains and the death throes of a dragon defeated, you knew it could only be the Dovahkiin. Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin. Hey, Wiz, did you know that I can blow up a galaxy?
What? How?
I signed up for a for. Join now to become a champion.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all...
Oh boy, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I'll go with Skyrim. I'll just say Skyrim. I'll just pick him.
All possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Go and stop this fool who would let the flame burn the age of humans to ashes. The Ancients of Dark will do anything to snuff out the light. Save us, chosen undead. Rudolph!
Oh yeah, he can roll. Ooh, okay. Alright, Star. Oh, but it doesn't track. Yeah, see, it doesn't do anything. Oh, back. Yeah, it's gonna revive, yeah. Oh! Alright, Scar, come on! Hit him! Ooh, that's right! Oh! Oh, he's pulling his dragon. Oh, but he can throw his dragon too, can't he? Oh! Yep, see, you can't kill this guy. Look at four. Ooh. Oh, yeah, yep, it's four. Come on, Star. That's right. Ooh. Oh, I forgot. Yep. He can take his voice away, so he's muted. Yep. Oh! Oh, what the hell?
Prepare to die.
Ooh! Oh!
Save this world, chosen warrior! Bring the fire!
No, he's not dead. No. No. Yeah. Wait, is he...
Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
Wait, if they both did it? Wait, I'm confused.
KO!
You die!
Oh my god, this boss is bullshit!
This debate was fascinating. The Dragonborn had a wider variety of training, better access to summons, and magic that passively regenerated, as opposed to the chosen Undead's limited pool of
Wait,
magic.
so who
Vow
won?
of Silence was a slick counter to the Dragonborn's magic and shouts, but it wouldn't last forever.
The Dragonborn was significantly faster, too. The chosen undead could dodge beams of light, sure, but Oriel's bow could fire arrows that move at least 250 times that.
But none of that mattered if the chosen undead couldn't stay dead.
You'd think the Dragonborn's anti-undead weaponry like Dawnbreaker would be an easy solution, but the undead of Dark Souls aren't really the same as Draugr from Skyrim.
Skyrim undead are more like those classic reanimated skeletons. But remember the conspiracy. Humans in Dark Souls are naturally immortal. They're not actually undead.
Solitaire wouldn't have been much use either, considering humans in Dark Souls can have their souls removed without dying.
So why didn't the chosen undead just keep coming back until they eventually won? Like with any Dark Souls boss.
One word, power. The Dragonborn had way more and greater feats of raw power than the chosen undead.
Oh yeah, like summoning country-spanning storms with a single shout, or defeating Mirak, who split a continent.
There's also the lore. Both characters are essentially mythological demigods in the same kind of vein as Hercules or Sun Wukong. Gameplay alone won't give you the best idea of their full power as characters.
So, let's get an idea of their max potential from the lore.
The chosen undead sustaining the first flame with their soul was insanely impressive. Considering the first flame is responsible for the core concepts of the universe, like energy and time, it's not a stretch to say it affects not just the planet they live on, but the whole universe.
But that's nothing compared to the power levels in the Elder Scrolls.
Let's compare the first flame to Alduin. Both literally run on the power of souls, and both can be directly scaled to our combatants.
Alduin had strength to consume the universe, not just Nirn, but the Kalpa as well.
You know those planets you see in the sky? According to cosmology, those are actually separate, infinitely big planes of reality. Alduin was going to eat infinity. Multiple infinities.
Okay.
In comparison, the first flame is powerful enough to sustain a universe and the flow of time. But it can't be infinite. Otherwise, it never would have faded to begin with.
And that meant the chosen undead just wasn't powerful enough no matter how many times they revived. With that much of a difference in power, the chosen undead would eventually lose their will to fight and go hollow. It's not traditional, but it is a form of death in Dark Souls. The chosen undead was surely tenacity personified, but still wasn't enough to stand up to the Dragonborn's incredible skill, broken arsenal, and overwhelming power.
The chosen undead could only last so long before they flamed out.
The winner is the Dragonborn.
Okay. That makes sense.